Welcome in Pioneer Racing Game Dev episode number I don't know. I'm the developer of the game and you can purchase it on Steam on early access. So this is all the new changes happening in the version 0.1.11. Here we're on the new map, Nova Frontier. We have a lot of new buildings in here. That's the kind of vibe I want for my game. So yeah, I will change all the maps to have only complex maps at least. So this is a list complex of all because it will have just that type of buildings, but the two new ones that I've drawn manually to have the layout ready, and then I will make all the buildings in 3D. Those will be way more complex. I'm trying to achieve a very futuristic vibe with a lot of buildings, stuffs and lights and so on, so feel free to just buy the game before suits come out so you can see the maps as soon as I will publish them. We're here on the version 0.1.11 and I have a lot of changes to announce in that version, so just stay to the end of the video to see them all. First, we now have a manual driving option. I will show you that on another lap without the AIs because I don't want to be last and I'm not used to that driving mode, and as you can see, the expert mode AIs are really fast. They're keeping up with me even though I drove pretty nicely on all the lap. So like this, just a little escape from the road can be devastating for your score. We're securing the first place, but with just a very little just distance from the second one. Let's check out the options. What have changed here? We can change the steering intensity, so if you like to drift and everything, you can. You just have to put that value a little bit higher and to just steer actually really hard. You can deactivate the ABS. Again, for drifting it's very useful, but else I would suggest you to keep that. Traction control, that's the same. For drifting you deactivate that, but else I would suggest you to keep it. And automatic gears, that's a must if you want to make your own laps times with a great feeling. I mean, here you have to switch all your gears manually, so on the controller you have the two little shoulders to do it, but on the keyboard you have two buttons. Of course you can change that, and you have to listen very carefully to the engines if you want to be on the good RPM range. So the good RPM range is the same than for the real car. Let me explain a bit. For example, for this car, it will be between 9,000 and 11,000 RPM, so it's pretty much the same than a real F1. I've tried to make all of that realistic, so it will be the same for all cars. For example, the Porsche, it's between 4,500 and 6,000. It's not the Porsche actually, it's the Light Road. I've kept the value from the inspiring cars, but it's not those ones, as I don't have the rights to implement them in my game. Though you can use the RPM range to make those cars, or you can just use the sound. For example, I know if the F1 is screaming, I know I should rev up, and if I don't hear anything, I know I should rev down. But I'm not very good at that one because I don't have a lot of experience, but an experienced player will be faster with manual mode than automatic mode, of course, because the automatic mode, even though it's made to keep the right RPM range at all times, to keep the most efficient one, it may be slow to react sometimes, and you might be faster to react if you're used to manual modes on games. For the F1, I've taken the worst example, as it is really fast to rev down and rev up, so you may be a little bit unfamiliar with that driving experience, but for another car, let's try out, for example, with, I don't know, maybe this one. It's pretty much a sportive car. It's a little bit more aggressive than the normal car, though, so you may still play on the older roads. And this one with the manual mode, of course you have to not forget to engage the first gear when you start. And as I said, I think it's between 4,500 and 6,000, the best RPM range. You will see that, of course, if you don't do that at the best time, because the car will just slow down a lot. And you also have to pay attention to gear down as well at the right times. So it's pretty much fun. I do prefer with manual mode, even if I'm not that good with it. It feels way more sporty, even you feel like you're really driving that car. And you also have to pay attention, because when you want to drive in reverse, I will show you right now, even though I am not done with the race, you have to gear down to the neutral, gear down to rear, and accelerate. So it's a little bit like in a real car, and you can just gear to neutral and first gear again. But if you're driving in automatic, let me just find my cursor back, and if you put that to automatic, the rear will work with a brake. So you brake, you get to rear, and you brake again, you get to go reverse, and you accelerate, you get to first, and you accelerate again, you get at another speed. So that's pretty much instinctive for the automatic. It's a little bit harder for the manual mode, but it's way funnier, so I would recommend you to play with the manual mode on the Nova Frontier circuit. That's the best one I have for now. I'm working on 2 other maps, as I said, but that's the only one that's already in the game. I will change the splash to put that picture. But that's pretty much it for today's video. So just remember, you have Pioneer Racing on Steam. You can buy it right now. So thank you for your time. Thank you for watching. Enjoy your day.